This is Community Connection.
Thanks for joining us on today's Community Connection. I'm Jason Laird, joined with Keith to talk about the third annual farm and ranch kind of planning, estate planning event going on. And man, that can be kind of convoluted information. So tell me a little bit about what this event is going to encompass and what people can kind of expect at this event.
Well, we have three of us professionals to talk about what I call estate planning, long-term care planning,
Right.
income tax issues, having to do with what farmers and ranchers face every day when they're trying to sort out their affairs, to help them not only be more profitable right now, but then plan for the future as their successors step into their shoes.
Right. And what are some of the things that folks in these situations might oversee or not think about that an event like this would kind of help shine a little light on?
Well, I think a lot of people have a misconception that the kind of estate planning that we do through wills or trusts is going to help them protect their assets in the event of long-term care expenses. Doesn't work at all like that. It's a
Right.
totally separate kind of planning that they need to do if they're concerned about that. I think that's a big issue. And then with all the tax law changes in the recent years, people sometimes are thinking about tax rules in effect 20 years ago when they're doing their planning, and it's not what we have today.
Right, yeah, I would imagine. Now, what are some of those bigger changes that folks maybe aren't necessarily aware of that are kind of a top of mind?
Well, in the old days, many more people were subject to the federal estate tax.
Right.
Now, as of about 2 years ago, the exemption has gone sky high. It's only a temporary limit until the end of 2025, but now really estate tax is not the major issue that farmers and ranchers, most of them, need to take care of. It's income tax planning.
Right. Makes sense. And who would be kind of the ideal candidate to attend this event? Is it any farmers and ranchers, larger scale, smaller scale? I guess who would be kind of the best fit to attend this event?
Well, we're addressing issues that pertain to people with larger farm and ranches, and then people who have more family-sized farm and ranches.
Okay.
For instance, who are more concerned about protecting their farm and ranch for the next generation in case they have long-term care expenses.
Right. And what are some of the best ways to get a little more information on this event if folks are interested in attending or maybe reaching out to you?
Well, my office is the nerve center for taking RSVPs and giving more information for people.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably to call my office would be the way to go.
Fantastic. And on top of that too, it's I was trying to think, like you said, not only small farms but larger scale farms. What are some of the things that folks kind of looking at estate planning need to keep in mind moving forward?
Well, I guess one important point is I call estate planning a process. We do our darndest to do a really good plan right now, but it's not really going to work if we just put it away in a drawer and we forget about it for 20 years. So with all the tax law changes, with all the family changes, the changes in agriculture, it's a process where we need to stay on top of it over time. And of course, as a lawyer, I think lawyers are very central to it, but we also need to be thinking about the world of the financial planners. So Jared Brown is one of our co-presenters on our presentations. And then, of course, income tax, estate planning is the world of CPAs.
Right.
So I think you need to have a team of people to really do good planning if you're a farmer and rancher, thinking not only about what the situation is today, but the future of your farm and ranch.
Right on. Well, Keith, thank you so much for coming in. So again, great estate planning, especially for farms, ranches, both large and small. That event going to be coming up, both Great Falls, Lewistown. We'll have all the details on your screen. Thank you so much, Keith.
Great. Well, thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.